Welcome back. Now, last week, a Palestinian-American man was beaten to death by settlers in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, and a second man was shot dead. U.S. citizen Sayafollah Musallet, also known as Saif, was severely beaten in an incident on Friday in Sinjil, north of Ramallah. Hussein al-Shalabi, 23, was also shot in the chest. This, of course, brings up the discussion with regards to if it is an Israeli-American, like, for example, the one of Eden Alexander was, of course, taken as a captive on October the 7th, 2023. A big hoo-ha was made, of course, when it comes to Western media. But when, of course, it is a Palestinian-American, it's something that is probably swept on the side. Joining me now to take this discussion forward, I'd like to welcome Jamal Juma, who is the coordinator of the Anti-Apartheid Wall. Jamal, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Always a pleasure having you on.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. It's my pleasure as well.
Jamal, of course, in my intro, I use the examples of Eden Alexander and, of course, Sayafollah Musallet. And the contrasts are different, aren't they? One really gets a lot of attention. Meanwhile, the other gets absolutely nothing at all. Maybe even just 10 or 15% of the attention.
Yeah, that shows how racist this world is, like, especially when you talk about the American regime, the Israeli regime as well. Like, it's really racist. Palestinians is like not counting. Like, and this is we can see it when they talk about Gaza. They don't talk about the Palestinians who's being killed. They don't talk at all about the women, the children, the elders, the doctors, the nurses, the journalists that has been killed as Palestinians. So for them, this is like, it's not counting. Palestinians' life is not as important as an American one. But regardless, still, this is not also the same would be as if it is a really American who has been killed. Look, for example, like when Shireen Abu Akleh has been assassinated and killed by a soldier like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. She's an American citizen, but it's supposed to make it a huge issue in the United States, where they have been investigated this. We have been, but not really what it should be happened, because it is a Palestinian as well. So yeah, it is when it became a Palestinian without American citizen or other citizens, it's like this is nothing. There is something would be realized when he has an American passport or citizenship or European citizenship. But even still, this is second grade. It's not really the white American that could be killed as a journalist or as an American who has been killed, would be killed by the settlers or by the Israeli soldiers. And this became also another level when Israel itself killed someone. If American citizen would be killed in Jordan or any other country in the south, United States will make a huge issue out of it. But when Israel killed Palestinian or American even or a European, and there we have too many evidence on some such a thing like happened here. If I have time, I would mention a story in 2013 when they erased one of the Bedouin communities, and there is a French diplomat went there with a humanitarian aid, and it has been beaten by a soldier, really beaten like it. And instead of the French would make it a big diplomatic issue. In fact, they punish their diplomat and they take her back to France. This is unfortunately when it comes to a racist country, powerful country like Israel, which is, we know why it's powerful, and not because they fall in love with Jews or with Israel. In fact, Israel is a cornerstone in the Middle East for their colonialism. It is like it is a military base, in fact. And the latest war on the Palestinians, the genocide in Gaza, the war in Lebanon, and the very latest, the war in Iraq, the war in Iran, sorry. So it shows that really this is a base, an advanced base for the Americans and for the Europeans, for the NATO in general in the area. So that's why it's immune from the crimes that they are committing since 1948 up to now. There is hundreds of massacres committed against the Palestinian people. None of them Israel hold accountable for these crimes.
Jamal, I want to touch on, Mahmoud Khalil, of course, who is a Palestinian, and he's a green card holder within the US right now. Obviously, he was detained by the US, and of course, ICE agents under the administration of Donald Trump have really been clamping down on a lot of pro-Palestinian supporters within the US. And then, of course, the irony comes when you look at the settlers within the occupied territory of the West Bank area, and a lot of Americans screaming, for example, death to the Arabs, quote unquote, and of course calling for the ethnic cleansing, and yet there are no sanctions on those settlers who are outrightly calling for ethnic cleansing. Again, another example of true double standards.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is, and more than that, we have a genocide that's going on to divide since now almost 2 years. And there is a warrant of arrest for in the ICC, the International Criminal Court, against Netanyahu and Gallant, but none of this has happened. So they were trying to do something against settlers, but this was so stupid, so mild, unbelievable. When they want to block their bank accounts, instead of this criminals that they are continue doing these crimes every day in the West Bank. Every day they are killing Palestinian people. They are beating. They are destroying properties. They are uprooting trees, cars, throwing stones in the streets. And this is at least it should be taken to jail if this is in a normal situation. But as we said, it doesn't count on the Palestinians, and also they are the spearhead of this terrorist militia, the spearhead of the Israeli government in implementing their plans in the West Bank, which is mainly the annexation of the West Bank and the expulsion of the Palestinians, shrinking the space of the Palestinians in their own cities and villages. It is an isolation that they are creating, and the one who's doing this, in the forefront and the spearhead of that is this fascist criminal militias that they are supported by the military, supported by the government as well. They have budgets from the Ministry of Finance. They have four-wheel drives, drones. Even they given them a kind of taking law in their hands. They can arrest Palestinians, and they can confiscate Palestinian cars. They go with uniforms to attack the Palestinian communities. So they put them in the forefront, to say to the world that this is, this is an extreme settlers. But no, it's not extreme settlers. We are talking about here a paramilitary and terrorist militias that they are exactly doing implementing the plans of the Israeli government, which is the annexing the West Bank, the ethnic cleansing in the Palestinian areas, especially area B. And lately, when we talk about what's happened in Sinjil and Al-Mazra'ah,
yes,
this didn't happen in area C. It happened deep into area B, in the villages where there's no settlements around. They came from far distance, with big numbers of settlers that have been coming and attacking the Palestinians. So it is not about just building colonies even. It's beyond that became. It's this is, as I said, is a tool for the expulsion of the Palestinians.
After the break, that Minister of Finance of Israel, Bezalel Smotrich, is of course one of those that have fueled the settler violence that is happening in the occupied West Bank. We're going to continue the conversation with Jamal after the break. Welcome back. I'm still in conversation with Jamal Juma, who is the coordinator of the Anti-Apartheid Wall, coming to us from Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. Jamal, Smotrich, I remember we spoke a few weeks ago, I beg your pardon, and we spoke about Smotrich and Itamar Ben-Gvir. We spoke of them two specifically fueling the settler attacks that are happening, fueling this violence, fueling this ethnic cleansing that is happening. And yet, both of them, even though they've been hit with sanctions by the United Kingdom, the United States, which is of course its strongest ally, continues to turn a blind eye. Then again, no one should be surprised by this.
Yeah, this is really unbelievable. When you talk about these two guys, they are committing crimes against humanity. The genocide in Gaza is not just Netanyahu, but it's also these guys, the one who's standing so strong against any ceasefire or against any any plan to have like an agreement with to stop the war. They are the one who's standing strongly in front of any attempts from other countries like Qatar, the mediators, Qatar or Egypt or the United States when they are talking about negotiations with Hamas and for ceasefire. And Netanyahu, the first thing he's thinking when he's negotiating is how to please these criminals that they are in his government. Doesn't mean that he's any better than them, but for him, this is like the big stones that are standing on his back that he can rely on when he get into such a negotiation. In fact, if there is any little justice that's happening in the world, not just Netanyahu should be given a warrant of arrest for war crimes, but also all these governments, all these like military officers that is participating in this genocide, and the evidence is there, like they are taping by videos, like in their phones, they are taping their crimes, like not afraid of anything or any consequences that could happen to them. When it comes to these two guys mainly, like Smotrich and Ben Gvir, as you said, like they are on the top of the crimes that has committed in the middle in the West Bank, and they are the one they are leaders of this settler colonial militias, not from now, but like from they raised up there. They raised up in the most fanatic settlements in the West Bank. Especially Ben Gvir, who's raised in Hebron, as well as Smotrich in one of other settlements. So they are leaders. They are the Smotrich particularly has been established this societies that it's just like working in Jerusalem to take over the Palestinian houses and the Palestinian land in Jerusalem and the surrounding area. And this is registered in the United States as a charitable organization. This organization, this society that's committing crimes against humanity. I'm talking about history of Smotrich. Then now he's the Minister of the Finance. From the early beginning when he get to the power, he was so clear. He was not hiding anything. Palestinians has three choices: either to accept, in other words, to live as slaves in this country without any rights and give up all the Palestinian rights. There's no Palestinian state, not whatsoever, or they can leave and immigrate from Palestine, and we'll help them to do that. If they don't want, the military is ready. Is pointing to the genocide that's happening in Gaza today and what's happening in the West Bank. And by the way, I'm just like warning all the time. Like we saw how this war on the Palestinian farmers escalated by this criminal settlers. You see, just before Sinjil, it was Kufr Malik, like 3 weeks before, with 3 Palestinians has been killed and several has been wounded. So it has been escalated, like in a way that I will not like surprised if one day they enter a village and they commit a huge massacre in one of these villages.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, Jamal. It's happening. I mean, if you read the reports, of course, from especially the Wafa agency, which is reporting directly from the occupied area, and you look at what's happening in Gaza right now, the fact that the Israeli army, who said, quote unquote, it was a technical error that they bombed a water distribution area. It's quite clear this was, by all accounts, a predetermined attack by Israel. They are looking for one thing and one thing only. It's not just their idea of doing ethnic cleansing in Gaza. They now want to make sure they take that and put it into the occupied West Bank. And within the Knesset, within this government of Netanyahu, it's quite clear he is as complicit as the right-wingers in trying to make sure that this occurs.
Yeah, it is right. This is all these things that's going parallel to each other, like or along each other. What's happening in the West Bank is the same. What's happening in Gaza, in fact, for the end goal. The end goal of Gaza, which the plans of this humanitarian area that they called it a human area. This is an ice switch. This is an isolation that just remind everybody in the world with the isolations of the Jews by the Nazis in the Second World War, and this is like It's outrageous what they are planning, and they are totally talking about it openly. In the West Bank, they are going with the same way. When we talk about the isolations that they are creating for our Palestinians, yes. When you see what's happening in the West Bank today, they are creating several Gazas in the Gaza strips in the West Bank, separated from each other, totally stripped out from all the resources that they could have. And will be, you can see what's happening in Gaza. The next will be happening in this isolation that they are doing in the West Bank. Even beyond this government and Israel is really, the crimes that they are thinking of even is beyond the people thinking and the logic that anybody can think of. Now they are in Syria. Now they are in Lebanon. Do you think that they will withdraw from there? No, no, of course not. Just like Netanyahu before the genocidal war in Gaza, he was presenting the map of the United Nations, the map of the Greater Israel. So now they are going so far with this. And in fact, like what our really worries that would happen in the huge mess that they are doing around is what's happening in Al-Quds. And we are really aware, we are really very worried for Al-Aqsa Mosque. It could be in any time, it could do something like demolishing it, trying to create anything to make it fall apart, but they are going to do that sooner or later. We know how they are thinking.
Yeah.
This criminal mentality has no limits, like, really no limits. And unfortunately, the world didn't see that. But when you see it in the ground and we see what's happening, to read within what was happening in the last 2 years up to now, from the whole region here to ending by Iran and still continuing in Gaza, you can really see what they are planning to do in the future. They're non-stop, and this is all done because of the complicity of Europe, because of the complicity of United Nations and the unconditional support with money, with military, in their economy, with everything. So they are complicit, as Israelis are complicit with all these crimes against humanity.
Jamal, we've got about 2 minutes. Life in the occupied area right now, of course, you are in Ramallah. It's a difficult time, isn't it, given that at any moment these settlers, along with members of the Israeli army and its security forces, can just storm into a town and commit murder, commit destruction, and there's absolutely no accountability to it. And that's the fear, isn't it, with regards to residents from across the occupied West Bank. And as you mentioned, Al-Aqsa Masjid, which is still under threat, given that these settlers and these right-wing supporters just storm into the compound and go ahead and do what they want to do.
Exactly. Like when you see what the Israeli soldiers and officers doing when they are accompanying the attacks that are happening by the settlers. These two young guys that has been killed lately in Sinjil, the Mazra'ah.
Yes.
They were killed by sticks and by beating in front of the soldiers while they are watching and looking at them, and they're participating even. There is also some other people that has been arrested, like they are even people come from outside in solidarity with Palestine. There's 2 of them. They beat them like hell. They were taking them like in the fields and the mountains while the settlers is beating them and the soldiers is taking them and surrounding them while the settlers is doing this. Even today they are, when the sticks that they hold the settlers, they put nails in the head of the stick. So when they hit someone on his head, on his body, it will kill him. It's really killing machines that they have. Other than the shooting, they have their own machine guns on their shoulders. Like, it's not just like the sticks. And whenever, and the soldiers say it to the Palestinians when they tell them, look, they are killing the people, they are doing that. He said, we don't care about this. We are coming to protect them. They say it clearly to the people. So of course they are immune. The settlers are immune. The soldiers are immune. And Israel in general are immune. That's why they are able to commit these crimes until now. And they continue to do it. And they might do much bigger crimes in the West Bank, like what they are doing in Gaza. In Gaza, every day they are killing around 100 Palestinians in Gaza. It's not counted. And they say it. They say it. Their leaders, in this government, they say it. We are killing 100 people every day in Gaza and doesn't make any things. It's not counted to the world. Nobody, seems it's okay. So that's why they are going on with the genocide. That's where they are going with this. But at the end, like, and we as a Palestinians, we believe that they know a criminal country that commits such horrible crimes against humanity like genocide, and they can survive later on after that. It's clear that these people are self-destructive at the end. Palestinians not going to be wiped out. Palestinians going to be going to leave their homeland. They are the invaders. They are the settler colonialists. They are the one who should leave if they didn't want to accept the Palestinians and to live with the Palestinians in this land, which is Palestinians has been were tolerant, and they were they were signing with them agreements like Oslo, like other things.
Sure.
But clearly that they don't want anybody else here, and they see the Palestinians as a monster that they must pushed out from this area.
Jamal, always a pleasure having you on. Shukran so much for joining us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
That is Jamal Juma, the coordinator of the Anti-Apartheid Wall based in Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. That's all we have here on News in Focus from myself, Ras Patel, and the rest of the team in Johannesburg. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.